After this descending triangle, what we can also expect is a price correction. Price after reaching the lower line of this area, it's also finding very difficult to break above it. After the historical volatility went below the 40 level, we had this big price correction. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining in. So looking at the current Bitcoin price action, I'm actually going to show you both the bull side and the bear side what is unfolding at the moment, because I actually have noticed that there are investors who are actually looking for long at this current stage, and there are also investors who are looking for shorting opportunities. So for both people, today I'm going to show you a very interesting scenario. So guys, before I actually jump into the content, I would really appreciate if you could smash the like button and also hit the subscribe button and the bell if you're watching this video for the first time. So now let's dive into the content. So as you can see guys, this here Bitcoin USD chart in a daily time frame, you can notice I have actually drawn here a descending triangle, this big descending triangle, this descending triangle from 2019 when the trend actually started heading to the downside. And in our case, if you look at this price action of Bitcoin here, we actually are also forming a really nice descending triangle, because after this descending triangle, what we can also expect is a price correction. Because if we go here back from 2018, you can see this big descending triangle unfolding here, right? This descending triangle example is here above. This is the descending upper trend line, which you can see very clearly, and also the flat lower trend line. And in this case, breaking below the flat lower trend line, the support line, price had a correction. And also if we go back here from 2019, we also formed a really nice descending triangle. And what happened after price breaking the lower line of the descending triangle? We had this similar price correction. And now if we look at the price action of Bitcoin, we have also reached the top of the mountain according to this analysis right now, because now you can see across this area, this is also really nice round top. And according to this round top, our area, the target area right now is around this 8,600 level guys. And now if this 8,600 level also gets broken, according to this round top, our final target would be around exactly around this 7,000 level. But now if you focus only on this descending triangle guys, it's also indicating, hey, since the price has already failed to break above the upper line of this descending triangle, maybe we are actually heading to the downside. And now as we go to the downside, you can see the trend line here to the upside and the trend line here below, it's squeezing the price tighter and tighter. So we have to be very careful, because if this is a similar scenario unfolding with the descending triangle, then maybe we are also expecting a price correction around this 8,500 and also maybe around this 7,000 level according to this analysis. Because if you look this in a bigger picture, you can also see this bearish flat upper trend line, this hammer which you can see here. Every time when the price actually came around this 10,000 to 10,500, we also had this very strong resistance, this bearish flat upper trend line, which actually pushed the price to the downside every time when it actually tried to pass since 2019 guys. So now you can see it also rejected the price, and price is also indicating maybe it's heading to the downside. And also if you notice here guys, let me also include the CPR, central pivot range. If I actually use the monthly central pivot range, you can see some difference here. Let me enlarge it. If you look at this area, you can notice here very carefully, you can see here this purple line here. This purple line is actually now, this is the monthly CPR level. So you can see here across this area, this purple line, this is a monthly CPR level. And now this monthly CPR is also blocking the price. So you can see after price reaching the lower line of the CPR, it's getting very hard to break above it, because this CPR, this monthly CPR in an uptrend is going to act as a support, but in a downtrend when the price actually is heading to the downside, this CPR level is going to act as a very strong resistance. And that's why you can see here price after reaching the lower line of this area, it's also finding very difficult to break above it. So guys, and also if we actually look at this indicator below, this is Bitcoin COT indicator, and if you look at this in a whole here, the whole price action of Bitcoin along with this indicator, you can also actually see something very interesting unfolding at the moment. Because right now if you look at this price action of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin COT indicator guys, this is commitment of traders. So if you look at this here, you can see guys, this this institution, this red line which I've actually drawn here or showed you here, is actually a institutional trader's net position. So when the institutional trader net position was heading to the downside, as you can see in the arrow, that was also an area where the price was heading to the downside. In this case, you can see here, right? So when the trend, or when this institutional trader net position was heading to the upside, we can see with the price action of Bitcoin, it also started heading to the upside. And this scenario, when this bigger institutional trader started buying or selling, that has big impact on the price of Bitcoin, because now you can see here, if you follow the similar steps here, also when this massive price correction happened before that, this arrow indicated, hey, now it's indicating the price might be correcting because this institutional traders net position is short on this area. So now you can see when the trend was heading to the upside, institutional trader net was showing an opposite direction. So what happened after that? We had this huge price fall, and then also a massive dump occurred after that. And now you can see when the trend actually reached the bottom area from the March, guys, we can see a new trend started, right? We started heading to the upside very clearly, and you can also see the institutional traders net position also started heading to the upside. But now you can see it looks a bit different, because right now you can see this institutional trader net position and the price action of Bitcoin. What indication are we getting? Because right now it's showing us the trend is not heading to the upside, because for a reversal, what we want is this institutional trader net to head to the upside, guys. If it actually starts heading to the upside or reversing, that's the indication maybe we are actually seeing a breakout coming very soon. But so far, if you look at this price action and this institutional trader net position, guys, it's also indicating trend might be reversing. And also today I've actually included this hash ribbon to show you one very simple example, guys, because we know this hash ribbon is usually a long-term indicator which shows us a long-term bull run. But if we go through the past Bitcoin price action, after we got this buy signal here, what happened with the price usually? Because if you look at here, guys, in this case here, if you look at this buy area, after this buy signal, before the trend actually started heading to the upside, we actually saw a price correction. You can see, again, similar case here, when this buy signal appeared, if you can see here properly, guys, this was also a price correction of at least 10%, right? But if you look at this scenario right now where we are, it's also indicating a buy signal. So what I'm actually expecting is before the trend actually starts heading to the upside, guys, price might head back to this 8,000 level, retest this area, and then head to the upside. Even though the hash ribbon is giving us a buy indication at the moment, we might still see a price correction of at least, I guess, like 8 to 10%, which will bring the price of Bitcoin around this 8,000 level, and then we can maybe start a new trend to the upside, guys. So this here was an example for people who are actually looking for shorting the market at the moment. But now let me also show you in a bigger time frame what might be unfolding for the bulls there. So this here is Bitcoin USD chart in a weekly time frame. So if you look at the price action of Bitcoin in a bigger time frame for all the swing traders right now looking at this video, guys, if you notice this price movement of Bitcoin along with this indicator, this Williams alligator indicator, if you only focus on these two, this alligator indicator and this price action of Bitcoin in a weekly time frame, guys, something very interesting is unfolding and giving us a signal. Hey, looking things in a bigger time frame, it looks very bullish. Because if you look at the price action here, the crossover, I actually want to point some areas before I actually start explaining, okay, guys? So if you notice on the circle which I have mentioned here, this circle area usually indicated, hey, every time when we see this kind of crossover, when you see the green line crossing over the red line and the blue line, which is the teeth and the jaw of this alligator, we have a run to the upside. So you can see when the trend was heading to the upside, the green line here was at the top and the blue line here was at the bottom. So this indicated, hey, now this is a continuation pattern and the price is going to head to the upside. And in this case, you can see here, guys, we headed straight to the upside, and this alligator indicator gave us a very strong indication in a weekly time frame, right? And before the trend actually started reversing, you can notice that after the price actually had a crossover. I mean, this blue line is now at the top and the green line is at the bottom. In an uptrend, the green line is at the top and the blue line is at the bottom. But in a downtrend, the blue line is at the top and the green is at the bottom, guys. So if you look at this price action, after this crossover, we had this price correction, right? This major price correction. And before that, again, guys, before we had this rally from 2019, you can also see we had this crossover. So in this crossover, the jawline got broken. I mean, the lip actually crossed over the teeth and the jawline of this alligator. So in this case, you can see the green line here is at the top. So when the green line is at the top, we will see a major run to the upside, guys, in most of the cases. So in this case right now, if you look at the price action of Bitcoin in a weekly time frame, this is actually showing us, hey, now the green is at the top and the blue is at the bottom. So what happens when this actually occurs? When the green line is at the top, you can see when the green line is at the top and the blue line is at the bottom, this usually indicates trend might be heading to the upside, because this here is actually a very, very bullish scenario looking at the price action in a weekly time frame. But guys, something very, very interesting scenario what I also want to include is this here, because if you look at the price action in a whole and also look at this example which I've drawn here, you can see this below here. Let me also show the names of this indicator which I've used here. This is Bitcoin COT, right? So this Bitcoin COT, before I actually showed you the institutional traders net for this example, for the price reversal, right? What we are actually expecting right now. But if you look at this here, the green line here is the percentage open interest held by the largest for longs, and the red line is the percentage open interest held by the largest for shorts. So if I actually show you this example of Bitcoin right now, along with this alligator indicator and this historical volatility, guys, you can see something very, very interesting unfolding in a bigger picture. Because right now, for all the swing traders, this might be a really, really bullish sign. Because right now, as I've already showed you, this here is a continuation pattern to the upside in a weekly time frame. If you look at the price action below, this price action here and also this Bitcoin COT indicator, guys, when you see this percentage open interest held by the largest for longs and the short coming to cross and bouncing away from each other, that has actually led to a big price surge to the upside. Because if you look at this price action where this percentage open interest held by the largest for longs and short started moving away from each other, that's the point where trend actually also started heading to the upside. So if you look at this example here, in our case, if you look at this area, you can also notice exactly here when the price had this big price correction, the percentage open held by the largest for longs and the shorts started moving away from each other. And this, after that, we had this very, very nice pump to the upside. So if you go backwards, you can also notice this similar scenario unfolding. You can see this actually gave us indication, hey, after that we might see a rally to the upside. And you can also see this percentage open held by the longs and short moving away from each other, and this impact here, we saw what happened after that to the price, right? Price actually started heading to the upside. Also, this similar case here, guys, percentage open held by the shorts and the longs started moving away from each other. And after that, we can also see what happened to the price action of Bitcoin. The price also headed straight to the upside, guys. So in this case, as I already said you, this in a bigger time frame looks bullish for Bitcoin in a weekly time frame. And also if you go below here, this is actually a historical volatility indicator, which actually is indicating every time the historical volatility is below the 40, that's the sign something big is happening. This example was showed by Josh Raja. So I thought I would include this here to show you guys what happens when the historical volatility is below the 40 level. So this here, right now, you can see this line is the level 40, right? So after that, you can see when the price actually breaks or around this area, we had this massive move, which you can see here. When the historical volatility came below this 40 level, this 40, you can see here. After that, we had a price pump and then price started heading to the upside, right? Again here, this price move brought a really nice pump to the upside. When the historical volatility was below 40, you can see that this brought a really nice pump. In this case, you can see here, after the price actually slightly went below the historical volatility level 40, it brought a price correction here. For example, you can see here, this price correction happened after historical volatility went below the 40 level. In this case, you can see we had this pump, right? We had the pump here, this price started heading to the upside. But in this scenario, the price actually headed to the downside, or we had this price correction. And if you look at this example here, guys, you can also see after this, actually the historical volatility went below 40. We had this major price correction. You can see very, very clearly, right? And in this case, you can see here again, this here brought a really nice pump to the upside. And this here now, similar example, guys, when this volatility was here, you can also notice after the historical volatility went below the 40 level, we had this big price correction, isn't it? Because now if you look at this historical volatility right now where we are, guys, this is actually exactly around the 40 level. So now if you look at this alligator indicator, which is indicating the trend has still potential to head to the upside. If you look at this Bitcoin COT indicator, it's also this percentage open interest held by the largest for longs, and the shorts are actually going away from each other, right? That's also what we were looking for, because when it happened, this actually brought a really nice pump to the price. But now if you look at this with the historical volatility and again where we are exactly, guys, this is indicating the volatility is coming soon, so be prepared. And guys, this is what I actually want to share with you in today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, I would really appreciate if you could smash the like button and also hit the subscribe button if you're watching this for the first time. By saying this, I want to end my video here. Until next time, bye bye guys.